I've lived in South Florida my whole life with extremely controlling parents. They never let me do anything remotely fun. No phone calls to friends, no extracurricular activities unless academic, no sleepovers, and I couldn't even have friends over. My dad worked at my elementary school, so I had to be on my best behavior all the time. So, when I went to middle school, I was ecstatic. Finally, I had a taste of freedom, and making friends came easily. A year into middle school, I became really good friends with two girls, Heather and Sharon. They were popular and friendly, but what fascinated me most was that Heather could sleep over at a boy's house. That was something completely foreign to me, considering my parents said I couldn't date until after I graduated high school or college. They didn't specify which. Heather seemed like the coolest chick ever. We were inseparable and known as the tripod. We had all the same classes and lunch periods. Heather often asked me to hang out with her and Sharon after school or on weekends, but my strict parents always said no. I felt left out, but eventually became grateful for it. One day, Heather suggested skipping school for a day. I freaked out, knowing my parents would be furious if they got an automated call from the school. But Heather wouldn't stop asking, and eventually, the thrill of the idea won me over. We spent a week planning it. I would have my mom drop me off at school as usual, meet Heather and Sharon, and we'd walk to a nearby gas station where one of Heather's friends would pick us up. Heather repeatedly reminded me to wear something that would give me an innocent look, which I found odd since I was already 13 and looked innocent enough. On the day of the plan, everything went smoothly. As we walked to the gas station, Heather's phone was blowing up with constant calls and texts. She kept telling people to meet us at the gas station. I was confused because I thought it was supposed to be just the three of us hanging out. When we arrived, there were about 7 other girls there, all around our age. Some I recognized from school, others I didn't. Heather yelled, "Who's ready to make some money?" And almost all the girls cheered. I felt uncomfortable and asked Sharon what was going on, but she just gave me a look that seemed to say, "Get out now while you can." 2 black Lincoln Town cars pulled up and stopped suddenly in front of us. Heather started numbering the girls, directing the first group to get into the first car, which sped away. The second car's window rolled down, revealing an older man with sunglasses, smiling. He asked if we were ready to go to the mansion, which excited the other girls. Heather nudged me to get in, but I started questioning her. What was going on? Who was this man? Why didn't she mention this part of the plan? She seemed annoyed and said, "Out of all the girls I bring, you're the only one giving me a problem. I thought you would want to get out and finally have some fun. And with your body, you could make a killing." I was naive, but her tone and the pressure made me back out and run back to school. I feared my mom more than anything, and going off in a car with a stranger screamed danger. I was embarrassed for bailing, but grateful for my parents' strictness. After that, I barely hung out with Heather again. She tried a few more times, but I got bad vibes from her and cut her off. I often saw her walking toward the gas station with groups of girls. Sharon started spiraling into depression. She clung to Heather and missed school more frequently until she stopped coming altogether. Years later, I found out she committed suicide. Recently, while watching a Jeffrey Epstein documentary, I recognized one of his victims as my friend. I'm convinced Sharon was one of Epstein's victims, and Heather was one of his recruiters. This happened in 2004 in West Palm Beach. I reached out to a childhood friend who confirmed it was our middle school friend in the documentary. I contacted a law enforcement friend to share what I know, hoping it might help. I'm also trying to track down Sharon's family to see if they knew about any of this. It could explain why she took her life. I'll keep you updated.